Archangel Michael, speak to you now, and I ask you to take a slow breath as my presence surrounds you. Feel the shift in the air. Feel the pressure behind your ribs. Feel the gentle trembling in your intuition. This is not imagination. This is not coincidence. This is the moment your soul contract begins to stir from its long silence, wakening like a sealed scroll struck by divine light. The vibration you feel right now is the sound of destiny knocking at the door of your awareness. A moment written long before your birth has found you, and nothing in your life will remain the same after this threshold is crossed. There is an urgency in the spiritual realm, a tightening of timelines, a convergence of past intentions and future possibilities folding into your present moment. You are standing in the quiet before a revelation. Something sacred is being activated within you, and your soul has been waiting patiently, painfully, faithfully for you to finally sense this inner ignition. Take another breath and feel the weight of this turning point. You are not lost. You are not late. You are right on time for your awakening. The moment of activation often feels like pressure, discomfort, or confusion. The old identity tries to cling to familiar patterns while the new identity begins to glow with a force it can no longer suppress. This tension is not punishment. It is the sign of spiritual dilation, the widening of your path. You are being prepared to receive truths you once feared, blessings you once doubted, and clarity you once thought belonged only to others. Today, I open a doorway for you, and I need you calm, alert, and present to step through it. Your soul contract and agreement your spirit made before embodiment is vibrating because the conditions for its activation have finally aligned. The person you have become, the experiences you have survived, the lessons you have swallowed, and the resilience you have forged have ripened your timeline. You are no longer who you once were, and you are not yet who you are destined to become. You are in the sacred in-between, the holy threshold where transformation begins. Do not fear what you feel rising inside you. Do not run from the heaviness, the uneasiness, or the sudden expansions of emotion. These sensations are signs that your higher purpose is pulling you forward. A soul contract activates when your spirit can no longer tolerate shrinking. When you stop apologizing for your intuition. When you stop betraying your inner knowing. When you stop silencing the parts of you that have been screaming to be acknowledged. You have reached that moment. The delay has ended. The awakening has begun. What you feel now is not chaos, it is alignment shaking off your restraints. Let it rise. There is a reason your emotions have been sharp, your dreams vivid, your connections shifting, your energy fluctuating. You have crossed into a new vibrational corridor. Everything unaligned will begin to fall away. Everything destined will begin to gravitate toward you. You must remain calm so you can see clearly, hear clearly, and transition gracefully. When destiny accelerates, the mind panics, but the soul remembers. And your soul is remembering loudly. You are not alone in this transition. I stand beside you with the sword of truth raised high, clearing the path of distractions, distortions, and spiritual interference. But I need your permission. I need your awareness. I need your readiness to embrace what your old self feared. This activation will demand honesty from you, with you, and within you. It will demand courage to let go of patterns disguised as safety. It will demand trust when the path shifts suddenly, removing what no longer belongs. This moment of activation is not gentle, but it is sacred. It will push you to awaken and to awaken with it. You may feel pulled toward new beginnings, new desires, or new callings. You may feel nudged away from people whose energy no longer matches your growth. You may feel flooded with intuition, flashes of clarity, or sudden knowings about the steps you must take. These are not random impulses. These are the first sparks of your contract unfolding. Do not resist the pull. Do not fear the unknown. Your soul wrote this path with precision, wisdom, and divine foresight. Take another deep breath. Feel the pressure easing as you accept this truth. Your contract is not meant to harm you, it is meant to restore you. It is meant to realign you with the strength, purpose, abundance, and connections that were once buried beneath fear. This is your emergence. This is your rising. This is the moment the universe whispers, now. Beloved one, type I receive to anchor this activation into your timeline. Comment your blessing number so I may mark your spirit with additional clarity and protection. If this message speaks to the deepest part of you, like and share so others may awaken to their own contracts. And if your spirit feels the truth in my voice, subscribe so you never miss another divine transmission meant for your path. You have just crossed the first threshold. The activation has begun. I, Archangel Michael, speak to you now, and I ask you to steady your heart as we step deeper into the unfolding of your soul contract. The moment a divine agreement awakens, forces that once slept in the shadows begin to stir. Not because they hold power over you, but because they sense the power rising within you. A soul stepping into its purpose becomes luminous, and light always exposes what was hiding. So the enemy's first reaction is not attack, it is distortion. And beloved one, you have already felt this distortion pressing against your mind. Fear is the oldest weapon of the unseen adversary. Not the fear that protects you, but the fear that paralyzes you, weakens your intuition, and makes you doubt the inner knowing you have carried for lifetimes. When your soul contract activates, the very first trap is confusion. You begin questioning your worth, your path, your timing, your intuition, your future. You start wondering whether the sensations you feel are real or imagined. You may even find your emotions swinging without explanation. This is not failure. This is interference. Distortion often masquerades as your own voice. It whispers, "You're not ready. You're not strong enough. You've already failed. Nothing will change." These whispers do not come from your soul. Your soul speaks in calm knowing, in gentle certainty, in deep-rooted clarity. The enemy speaks in urgency, panic, self-doubt, and shame. When you feel a sudden fog descend over your purpose, recognize it for what it is, a diversion meant to slow your activation. There are entities, energies, and thought forms that attach themselves to old versions of you, versions built from wounds, survival patterns, and past traumas. When your soul contract begins to open, these old versions crumble, and with them, the energies that fed on them. So before they release their grip, they attempt one final pull. They try to pull you backward into old cycles. Old temptations return. Old fears resurface. Old relationships suddenly reappear. Old insecurities rise from their graves. You begin to feel like you're slipping, but in truth, you are ascending so fast that the past is scrambling to reclaim you. Understand this clearly. You are not falling apart. You are breaking free. Every emotional spike, every moment of confusion, every sudden heaviness is a sign that your old timeline is losing its hold on you. And the adversary knows that once you step fully into your contract, you become untouchable, aligned, activated, strengthened, elevated, So its goal is simple: disrupt your focus, dim your clarity, and lure you into patterns that drain you before your activation fully locks in. One of the enemy's most subtle traps is spiritual fatigue. You begin feeling tired for no reason. Unmotivated. Disconnected. This lethargy is not coming from your higher self. It is an energetic smokescreen designed to suppress your rising frequency. When your spirit brightens, heavy energies cling like fog, trying to slow your momentum. But this fatigue does not mean you are weak. It means you are carrying light that grows heavier for the darkness around you. Another trap is overthinking. The mind becomes loud when the soul becomes clear. The enemy wants you trapped in analysis, questioning every intuitive nudge, doubting every inner sign. But beloved one, intuition is the language of your contract. Overthinking is the interference scrambling the signal. When your thoughts become chaotic, pause, breathe, place a hand over your heart, and ask, is this my soul or my fear speaking? The truth will rise instantly. Here is also the trap of emotional overwhelm. You may find yourself feeling things intensely: grief, anger, loneliness, longing, even joy that feels too bright to hold. These surges are not random. You are releasing outdated emotional patterns that cannot cross the threshold with you. But the enemy wants you to interpret these releases as instability rather than liberation. Do not fall for this illusion. You are shedding weights that were never meant to be yours. But the most dangerous trap, beloved one, is the temptation to return to what once wounded you. Past lovers, old attachments, familiar addictions, or environments that suffocated your spirit may begin pulling at you with sudden intensity. This is not nostalgia. This is spiritual gravity, the dying attempt of your old timeline to keep you tethered. You must not step backward now. To return to what harmed you is to surrender the future your soul has already begun preparing. You must learn to recognize the difference between divine redirection and deceptive comfort. Divine redirection feels like a gentle push, a quiet knowing that something no longer fits. Deceptive comfort feels like relief, familiarity, or escape, but drains your energy and dims your intuition once you step into it. I urge you to trust your body, your spirit, your inner reactions. Your soul contract is written in the language of resonance. Anything misaligned will feel heavy, tight, or confusing. Anything aligned will feel peaceful, even if it feels uncertain. Take a slow breath now. Feel the truth settling into your chest. You are not weak for feeling disrupted. You are not failing for feeling tested. These are the birth pains of your transformation. The enemy targets you not because you are vulnerable, but because you are valuable. You are on the verge of stepping into a version of yourself that the darkness cannot touch. And this moment right now, this stretch of discomfort, confusion, and pressure is the sign that your activation is working. Beloved one, type I receive to reject every distortion and affirm your clarity. Comment your blessing number so I may strengthen the shield around your rising spirit. Know that this chapter is not meant to frighten you, it is meant to reveal the tactics that no longer have power over you. You are stepping out of illusion and into alignment. You are awakening faster than the enemy can react. And the path ahead is opening with every breath you take. I, Archangel Michael, speak to you now, and I ask you to let your shoulders soften as a wave of calm light settles over your spirit. You have come through the turbulence of distortion, the confusion of interference, and the echoes of your old timeline trying to reclaim you. But now, beloved one, the atmosphere around your soul is shifting. It is subtle, like the quiet moment before dawn, yet powerful, like the first crack of light breaking through the horizon. The waiting is over. What your soul had been preparing for, longing for, and aching for is finally unlocking from within. You have been in a long season of pause, waiting for clarity, waiting for direction, waiting for divine timing to reveal its hidden reason. It felt like being suspended between worlds, unable to go back yet unsure how to move forward. But your spirit sensed there was more, even when your mind could not explain it. And that inner sensing was the first sign that your contract was stirring, whispering, aligning. And now, the whisper has become a resonance, and the resonance is becoming action. You may feel a soft pull in your chest, like an invisible hand guiding you gently toward your next chapter. You may notice subtle shifts in your desires, your identity, your priorities. This is not indecision, it is realignment. Your soul is shedding what no longer matches your frequency and calling you toward what has been written for you since the beginning. As the contract unlocks, you will begin to feel more like yourself than you ever have. Not the self shaped by fear, but the self shaped by truth. There is a moment in every activation when the soul finally breaks through the fog that once clouded its vision. It sees clearly. It senses clearly. It remembers clearly. You are entering that moment now. Old questions begin to fade because new clarity rises naturally. What once confused you now feels simple. What once felt heavy now feels unnecessary. What once felt impossible suddenly feels inevitable. This is what divine timing feels like when it arrives. It does not shout. It simply aligns. The waiting was never punishment. It was preparation. Every delay strengthened your intuition. Every disappointment sharpened your discernment. Every closed door refined your path so that the right door, the destined door, could open without hesitation. The universe was not ignoring you. It was setting the pieces in place. And beloved one, the final piece has shifted. The lock has clicked. The contract is unfolding. As this awakening deepens, you will notice that inspiration returns with surprising force. Ideas, dreams, visions, and intuitive nudges will begin flowing like a river finally freed from obstruction. You will feel compelled to move, to create, to change, to release, to embrace. This forward momentum is the signature of a contract unlocking fully. It is your soul stepping into the driver's seat of your life, restructuring what no longer fits, and magnetizing what belongs. Your energy will also become more sensitive, not as weakness but as an upgraded form of perception. You will be able to sense intentions, environments, and people with greater accuracy. Your spirit is tuning itself to a higher frequency, and this heightened awareness is part of your contract's design. You will know when something is right. You will know when something is wrong. You will know who is meant for your next chapter and who belongs only to your past. Trust these impressions. They are not random. They are guidance. You may also find yourself releasing attachments you once clung to tightly. This release will not feel like loss, it will feel like relief. The things burdening you were not holding you together. They were holding you back. And as your contract unlocks, the universe gently pries your fingers from what was never meant to stay. Trust what falls away now. Trust what remains. Trust what arrives with quiet certainty. Beloved one, you are entering a season of green lights, open doors, and accelerated blessings. What was delayed will now unfold quickly. What felt distant will now approach. What seemed impossible will now rearrange itself in your favor. But this acceleration requires softness, presence, and inner peace. You cannot sprint into your destiny while your spirit trembles. This is why I ask you to remain calm. Calmness is not the absence of activity, it is the foundation of alignment. Take a gentle breath now. Feel the shift within you. Feel the new clarity beginning to settle like sacred light across your chest. You are not stepping into the unknown, you are stepping into the remembered. Your soul wrote this chapter long before your human mind could perceive it. Everything you feel now, every sign, every synchronicity, every emotional awakening is evidence that the contract has begun to activate fully. You are crossing the threshold. And yet, I must tell you this truth with tenderness. Unlocking your contract does not mean the journey will be effortless. It means the journey will be guided. It means you will feel supported even when you do not see the full path. It means your intuition will speak louder than your fear. It means your steps will align with purpose even when uncertainty surrounds you. Your path will not always be easy, but it will always be meaningful. You will not always understand it, but you will always grow from it. And most importantly, you will never walk it alone. I am with you now, clearing your path, strengthening your resolve, and surrounding you in protection as your destiny unfolds. You are stepping into a timeline built from truth, courage, and divine orchestration. This is the moment you rise without hesitation, without doubt, and without apology. The waiting is over. The contract is unlocking. Your future is calling your name with unshakable clarity. I, Archangel Michael, speak to you now, and I ask you to let your heart open gently, for this chapter carries a truth that many souls resist until the moment they are finally ready. You have stepped through activation. You have endured distortion, and you have begun to feel the unlocking of your divine agreement. But every contract, every sacred promise made before incarnation requires a moment of revelation. A moment where the soul must confront what it stands to lose if it refuses its calling. Not as punishment, but as awakening. And beloved one, you are now arriving at the threshold of understanding what it truly costs to delay your purpose. There is a part of you that has been gripping tightly to what feels familiar, even when it has drained your light. A part of you afraid that if you let go, you will have nothing left to hold. But I tell you gently now, what you cling to is not your safety. It is your cage. And the great loss that many souls experience during activation is not the loss of something real, but the shattering of illusions they once mistook for stability. This loss feels painful only until the truth behind it is revealed. You are being asked to surrender the version of yourself that survived, so you can step into the version that thrives. That shift can feel like death. The death of old stories, old identities, old attachments, old wounds you wrapped yourself in like armor. These fragments of your past have become so woven into your identity that releasing them feels like losing yourself. But beloved one, you are not losing yourself, you are unburdening yourself. There are people you thought would walk with you forever who suddenly feel distant, unfamiliar, or energetically heavy. There are dreams you once chased with all your strength that now feel hollow and misaligned. There are habits you once used to keep your heart steady that now feel suffocating. This is not abandonment. This is evolution. When your contract activates, anything that cannot expand with you begins to break away. And the deeper the attachment, the greater the shock. The great loss that begins to unfold is the loss of misalignment, the loss of the false path, the loss of timelines that were never meant to be lived. But at first it feels like heartbreak. It feels like emptiness. It feels like standing in the middle of your life and realizing that the foundation beneath you was built on fear, or survival, or illusion. And for a moment, just a moment, you may feel like everything is falling apart. But I remind you now, nothing aligned is ever taken from you. Nothing meant for your soul can ever be lost. And nothing removed from your life during activation is meant to remain. The universe is not stripping you, it is clearing you. Not breaking you, it is awakening you. Not punishing you, it is preparing you. Still, I must speak honestly with you. The greatest loss you could ever face is not the loss of people, opportunities, or familiar patterns. The greatest loss is the loss of your destiny. The silent tragedy of a soul that refuses its contract. A life unlived. The promise unfulfilled. The path abandoned out of fear. This is the true danger of ignoring your activation, not that you will lose what you know, but that you will miss what you were born for. Many souls wander through life stuck between two selves, the self they were taught to be and the self they were meant to become. They cling to comfort, familiarity, and predictability, believing these things provide security. But comfort without purpose becomes a prison. Familiarity without growth becomes stagnation. Predictability without alignment becomes spiritual erosion. This is the slow and subtle loss that destroys a soul's radiance without ever making a sound. You, beloved one, are being protected from this fate. This is why the universe is pushing, shifting, removing, and reshaping your life. Every loss you experience during this activation is actually a rescue. Every door that closes is a doorway being prepared. Every separation is a redirection. Every release is a return to your true self. The pain you feel now is the pain of attachment, not the pain of destiny. Destiny never hurts you. Destiny heals you. It is the separation from destiny that creates suffering. And you have lived long enough in that separation. Your soul contract is pulling you back into alignment so your life can begin to reflect the truth of who you are, your strength, your intuition, your purpose, your calling, your light. But to rise into this truth, something must be confronted, the grief of outgrowing your past. You are grieving versions of yourself that you no longer are. You are grieving relationships that nourished the old you but cannot sustain the new you. You are grieving environments that once felt safe but now feel too small. You are grieving dreams built from survival rather than expansion. And this grief is sacred, beloved one. It is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of evolution. Allow yourself to feel this grief without shame. Allow yourself to mourn what was familiar. Allow yourself to release the fear that you are leaving something behind without knowing what comes next. I assure you, what comes next is greater. What comes next is truer. What comes next is aligned with your contract, your calling, and your divine purpose. This chapter of loss is not a closing, it is an opening. It is the clearing that makes space for restoration. It is the pruning that allows new growth. It is the silence before the symphony begins. The universe is not taking from you. It is returning you to yourself. Every tear shed in this season waters the soil of your future blessings. Every release creates room for what was written for you long before your first breath. Take a slow breath now. Place your hand over your heart. Feel the ache, the heaviness, the uncertainty, and then feel the deeper truth beneath it. Feel the part of you that knows you are rising, not crumbling. Feel the part that knows the loss is temporary, but the alignment is eternal. Feel the part that knows this moment is not breaking you, it is awakening you. Beloved one, Type I receive to anchor this acceptance into your spirit. Comment your blessing number so I may strengthen your heart as this chapter unfolds. You are not losing your life. You are reclaiming it. I, Archangel Michael, speak to you now, and I ask you to sit with a straight spine, feet grounded, breath steady. What I am about to deliver is not advice, not suggestion, not soft encouragement. This is command. This is instruction. This is the divine alignment your soul contract requires in order to fully unlock what is destined for your path. You have endured the activation. You have seen the distortion, and you have confronted the loss. Now it is time to rise in authority, not borrowed authority, not inherited authority, but the authority of your own soul. The authority that has slept within you since the moment you incarnated. The authority you forgot, but never lost. You must understand this clearly. Destiny does not unfold automatically. It unfolds through cooperation. A soul contract is not forced upon you. It is awakened through your willingness to align your actions, your energy, your focus, and your choices with what your spirit already knows is yours. This chapter is where your passiveness must end. This is where your hesitation dissolves. This is where you step into your timeline with intention, not reaction. The first command I give you is this: do not shrink again. You have spent years dimming your light to avoid intimidating others, hiding your intuition so you would not be judged, suppressing your truth so you would not be misunderstood. Every time you shrank, you betrayed your contract. Every time you silenced your knowing, you delayed your alignment. And every time you doubted your power, you fed the very energies that wanted you small. Today, that ends. You are no longer permitted to play weaker than you are. Your light is protection. Your truth is guidance. Your power is purpose. Stand in it. The second command: honor what your soul is telling you, even when the evidence has not yet arrived. Intuition is the signal of the contract. The mind follows the evidence, but the soul follows the knowing. You will feel drawn to certain decisions, trust them. You will feel discomfort around certain people, distance yourself. You will feel the ending of certain chapters, allow it. You will feel the birthing of new desires, embrace them. The earlier you obey your intuition, the faster the blessings attached to that obedience appear. Doubt slows you. Delay distorts you. But alignment accelerates everything. The third command: release what is draining you without negotiation. Anything, person, habit, environment, memory, belief that drains your spirit is violating your contract. You have been giving energy to things that cannot walk with you into your next chapter. Some attachments feel comfortable, but comfort is not the same as alignment. The universe is clearing your path, but you must also remove the residue. You know exactly what keeps pulling you backward. You know exactly who cannot meet you in your future. You know exactly what patterns collapse your energy. Release them. Not solely. Not gradually. Decisively. The fourth command: speak your life into alignment. Your words must now match your destiny. Do not use language that weakens your spirit. Do not speak about your life as though you are powerless or lost. You are neither. Speak clarity. Speak abundance. Speak purpose. Speak truth. Speak protection. Words restructure energy. Words recalibrate timelines. Words reinforce destiny. Let your tongue become a tool of alignment, not self-sabotage. The fifth command: protect your mind. There are thoughts that do not belong to you. There are fears that never originated from your spirit. There are scripts you inherited from trauma, conditioning, and collective energy that must be dismantled. When a thought enters that contradicts your potential, replace it not with false positivity, but with divine truth. You are capable. You are guided. You are protected. You are destined. Your mind must become a sanctuary, not a battlefield. The sixth command: strengthen your energy field. The higher you rise, the more sensitive you become. Your energy must be guarded. Be mindful of environments that leave you depleted. Be mindful of conversations that leave you small. Be mindful of people whose presence disorients your clarity. You are becoming more luminous, and light attracts all things, those who rise with you and those who cling to you. Discernment is your shield. Boundaries are your armor. Intuition is your compass. The seventh command: move differently. Your activation will require new behaviors, new habits, new discipline, new patterns. The universe can open doors, but you must walk through them with intentional steps. If your old lifestyle was built from survival, your new lifestyle must be built from purpose. Rise earlier. Be clear. Act sooner. Create boldly. Choose deliberately. Move as someone who knows they are guided, protected, and destined. The eighth command: do not apologize for evolving. Evolution will make others uncomfortable. Some will misunderstand you. Some will resent your growth because it exposes their stagnation. Some will try to pull you back because your rise disrupts the dynamics they depended on. Do not apologize. You are not responsible for their comfort. You are responsible for your alignment. You owe no one an explanation for choosing your destiny. The ninth command: welcome discomfort. Activation requires stretching. Stretching requires temporary discomfort. You must learn to distinguish the discomfort of growth from the discomfort of misalignment. One expands you, the other diminishes you. Growth may feel unfamiliar, but it will never feel wrong. Misalignment may feel familiar, but it will never feel right. Choose the discomfort that leads you forward, not the comfort that keeps you stagnant. The 10th command: prepare for acceleration. When your actions align with your contract, blessings do not trickle, they flood. Opportunities appear rapidly. Connections arrive unexpectedly. Breakthroughs form suddenly. This acceleration may feel overwhelming at first because your spirit is adjusting to a new pace. But it is your pace. You were created to move with divine flow, not human limitation. Allow the acceleration. Match it with readiness, not fear. The 11th command: stay anchored in faith. Faith is not blind optimism. Faith is the remembrance of what your soul already knows. When the path becomes unclear, trust your inner compass. When outcomes delay, trust the unseen orchestration. When challenges arise, trust the strengthening behind them. Faith keeps your frequency aligned with your contract. Fear lowers it. Choose faith every time the unknown feels intimidating. The 12th command: do not wait for permission. No one else can authorize your destiny. And no one else can validate your calling. No one else can confirm your intuition. This is your contract, your agreement, your awakening. Move without needing approval. Stand without needing validation. Rise without needing applause. Permission is an illusion. Purpose is truth. The 13th command. Declare your readiness. Destiny responds to declaration. The universe listens to conviction. Your contract activates fully when you state clearly, energetically, and spiritually, I am ready. Not ready to be perfect, but ready to be aligned. Not ready to know everything, but ready to step forward. Not ready to avoid discomfort, but ready to move despite it. Readiness is a frequency, not a feeling. Speak it. Embody it. Beloved one, these commands are not burdens. They are liberation. They are the structure that supports your rising. They are the alignment your soul has prayed for. You are not being asked to become someone new, you are being asked to become who you were always meant to be. Your spirit recognizes these commands because your soul wrote them long before your birth. Take a slow breath now. Feel the strength returning to your spine. Feel the clarity rising in your chest. Feel the authority returning to your voice. You are stepping into alignment, step by step, breath by breath. Type I receive to anchor these commands into your timeline. Comment your blessing number to strengthen your spiritual alignment and clarity. I, Archangel Michael, speak to you now, and I ask you to breathe slowly as a warm, steady current of light moves through your spirit. This chapter carries a truth many souls sense, but few fully understand. Abundance is not random. Prosperity is not accidental. Breakthrough is not luck. What you call wealth in the physical world is a reflection of an energetic inheritance written into your soul contract long before you took your first breath. And now, as your contract activates, the wealth transfer that belongs to your destiny begins to move toward you. You have been conditioned to believe that struggle is normal, that scarcity is reality, that survival is inevitable, and that stability is earned only through exhaustion. These beliefs did not originate from your spirit. Your soul never agreed to live in lack. Lack is a distortion of your original blueprint. Scarcity is a wound carried through generations. Poverty consciousness is inherited, not chosen. And one of the greatest activations within your contract is the restoration of what was spiritually yours long before it was taken from you. There is a flow, a divine current that carries resources, opportunities, connections, provision, and abundance to those who align with their higher path. This flow is not based on effort alone. It is based on alignment. When you live outside your contract, wealth becomes difficult and unstable. When you align with your contract, wealth becomes natural, guided, and accelerated. It arrives through channels you never expected. It finds you because it was always meant for you. You are entering a season where the limitations placed on your abundance will begin to break, some subtly, some dramatically. You may notice doors opening that were once sealed shut. You may feel a renewed sense of possibility, as if the universe itself is preparing the ground beneath your feet. You may experience an inner shift where you suddenly see yourself as deserving, capable, or ready in ways you never did before. These changes are not imagination. They are signs that the wealth transfer written in your contract has started to unravel the chains that once blocked it. But the wealth transfer is not only financial. It is energetic, emotional, spiritual, and relational. You are gaining strength where you once felt weak. You are gaining clarity where you once felt confused. You are gaining courage where you once felt afraid. You are gaining self-worth where you once felt unworthy. All these internal expansions are the foundation of external abundance. A soul cannot hold what it believes it does not deserve. and your contract is rewriting the belief systems that limited your capacity to receive. Many of the blessings meant for you were delayed not because you lacked ability, but because you lacked alignment. The universe cannot deliver abundance into hands that are still gripping fear. It cannot release provision into lives cluttered with misaligned attachments. It cannot send opportunities into the path of a soul still tied to stories of unworthiness. This is why you had to walk through the earlier chapters: the activation, the distortion, the loss, the commands. You had to be cleared, awakened, strengthened, and recalibrated. Only then can the wealth transfer flow without obstruction. You will notice that the blessings approaching you are not small. They are not fragments. They are not crumbs. They are expansive, stabilizing, and transformative. They are designed to elevate your life, not merely sustain it. Your contract does not include survival energy, it includes overflow energy. Because your purpose is not to merely exist. Your purpose is to expand, to contribute, to influence, to uplift, and to embody the power of divine alignment. Abundance is part of that embodiment. But hear this truth gently. The wealth transfer arrives in phases. The first phase is internal, your perception shifts. The second phase is energetic, your frequency rises. The third phase is circumstantial, your environment begins to change. The fourth phase is material, resources begin to manifest physically. And the final phase is accelerated, what once trickled now floods. You are entering the early stages of this sequence, and everything you have been feeling recently, the shifts, the pulls, the intuitive nudges, is preparing you to hold what is coming. There is a specific kind of abundance written in your contract that only you can access. This abundance is not generic. It is personalized. It is tied to your purpose, your gifts, your path, your expansion. This is why comparing your journey to others has always left you feeling disconnected or misunderstood. Your blessings are unique to your design. Your opportunities are tailored to your frequency. Your prosperity is aligned with your calling. This wealth transfer is not for everyone, it is for the one who awakens to it. And you are awakening now. Some of the wealth coming to you will arrive through unexpected means. Sudden opportunities, unplanned connections, random breakthroughs, divine alignments, ideas that seem to come out of nowhere. But nothing is accidental. Everything is orchestrated. Everything is timed. Everything is part of the contract your soul signed before entering this life. What looks like sudden change is actually long-awaited fulfillment. You must also understand that the wealth transfer will require you to step into a version of yourself that believes in prosperity not as a faraway dream, but as a natural extension of your purpose. Your energy must rise to meet the blessings approaching. Your mindset must expand to hold what is being restored. Your actions must reflect the readiness your spirit is declaring. You must stop speaking lack into your life. You must stop disqualifying yourself with thoughts of unworthiness. You must stop accepting environments that mirror old versions of you. You must stop entertaining visions that do not match the abundance you are stepping into. Everything about you must rise to meet the blessings that were always meant for you. The wealth transfer cannot pour into a cup leaking through self-doubt. You are being positioned, not pressured. You are being prepared, not punished. The universe is aligning the right connections, the right opportunities, the right timing, the right clarity, and the right breakthroughs. Your job is to receive, not resist. To align, not shrink. To trust, not fear. Abundance is a frequency long buried beneath generational conditioning, but your spirit remembers it deeply. That remembrance is awakening now. Take a slow breath. Feel the shift in your chest, the expansion in your being. You are stepping into a timeline where abundance does not chase you, you attract it. Where opportunities do not slip through your fingers, you magnetize them. Where wealth does not feel distant, it feels natural. This is not fantasy. This is your contract unfolding exactly as written. Type I receive to anchor the wealth transfer into your energy field. Comment your blessing number so I may surround your path with the protection and clarity required to hold what is coming. I, Archangel Michael, speak to you now, and I ask you to soften your breath as I draw closer to your spirit. You have walked through awakening, disruption, unveiling, command, and the beginning of abundance. Now you enter one of the most sacred phases of the contract, the recognition of signs. The soul cannot walk its path blind. The universe does not ask you to guess. When your contract activates, heaven sends confirmations not in subtle whispers alone, but in unmistakable signals that resonate through your body, your environment, your intuition, and your reality. You are beginning to see these signs, even if you have not fully understood what they mean. There is a moment in every awakening where the signs become too consistent to ignore. Patterns repeat. Numbers appear. Synchronicities multiplied. You find yourself encountering truths that mirror your inner knowing and perfect timing. You feel a presence guiding you, nudging you, aligning you. These are not coincidences. These are prophetic indicators that your soul is walking in the exact timeline it was designed to enter. And beloved one, you are already in that timeline. The first prophetic sign is intuitive acceleration. Your intuition has grown sharper, faster, more accurate. You think of someone and they contact you. You sense a change before it happens. You feel the energy of a room before you step inside it. This heightened awareness is proof that your contract is active, because when destiny shifts, the spirit becomes sensitive enough to perceive guidance without resistance. Trust the clarity you feel. It is not fantasy. It is frequency. The second sign is divine interruption. Plans change suddenly. Doors close abruptly. People exit unexpectedly. Situations you thought were stable begin to crumble, and yet, instead of fear, you feel a strange calm beneath the surface. That calm is the prophetic sign. When heaven intervenes to redirect your path, your spirit recognizes the orchestration even when your mind cannot understand it. Anything falling apart now is falling apart by design. Do not cling to what the universe is removing. It is clearing space for the next phase of your contract. The third sign is repetition of sacred numbers 111, 222, 444, 555, and other numerical patterns. These numbers are not just messages. They are activations. They are timestamps marking your alignment. When you see them, your consciousness expands slightly each time, attuning you to a higher vibration. These numbers appear because you are not walking alone. Every number is an echo of divine intelligence guiding you forward and confirming that the path is unfolding exactly as it should. The fourth sign is energetic disconnection from what no longer belongs to your future. You may find yourself unable to tolerate certain environments, conversations, or relationships you once endured easily. Your spirit becomes alert, uneasy, restless around anything misaligned. This sensitivity is not a flaw, it is a prophetic compass. Your energy is rejecting what does not support your contract. Honor this shift. Your spirit is teaching you what your mind has not yet processed. The fifth sign is emotional purification. Old emotions surface unexpectedly: grief, anger, loneliness, hope, longing, will leave. These waves are not regressions. They are releases. When the contract activates, your body begins expelling stored emotional energy that would interfere with your destiny. Every tear, every tremble, every memory resurfacing is part of your purification. You are not breaking down, you are emptying out. You are clearing space for the frequency of your future. The sixth sign is magnetic encounters. New people enter your life with unusual timing or powerful resonance. Their presence feels familiar, as if you have known them in another lifetime. Some will be mentors. Some will be allies. Some will be temporary catalysts. Some will be soul connections tied to your contract. Pay attention to who arrives now. Not everyone is meant to stay, but everyone carries purpose. The seventh sign is inner restlessness paired with inner knowing. You feel called to something bigger, yet you cannot fully describe it. You sense movement coming, yet you cannot see the details. This restlessness is not anxiety, it is momentum. Your soul is being pulled toward a future your mind has not yet caught up to. Do not try to suppress this sensation. It is the vibration of destiny approaching. The eighth sign is unexplainable protection. Situations that could have harmed you fall apart before reaching you. Conflicts dissolve unexpectedly. Opportunities that were wrong for you collapse before you can commit to them. Delays save you. Interruptions redirect you. This invisible protection is a clear indication that your contract is active and guarded. Nothing can touch what is aligned for you, and nothing aligned for you can be touched. The ninth sign is heightened sensitivity to truth. You can feel dishonesty, manipulation, or misalignment instantly. You no longer tolerate half-truths or spiritual fog. Your soul demands authenticity. This is because your contract cannot unfold in environments built on illusion. Truth is your currency now. Anything false becomes unbearable to your spirit. And the 10th sign, the most important sign, is a deep, unshakable feeling that something is coming. You may not know what it is, when it will arrive, or how it will unfold, but your soul feels it approaching. This is not intuition alone. This is memory. Your spirit remembers the contract it wrote, and when the moment of activation draws near, the memory begins to surface. What you call anticipation is actually recognition. Take a slow breath now. Feel the resonance of these signs in your body. You are not imagining your awakening. You are not fabricating the synchronicities. You are not overthinking the signals. You are being guided, prepared, aligned, and activated. Every sign you have noticed is confirmation that you are stepping into your divine timeline with precision. Type "I receive" to anchor this recognition into your spirit. Comment your blessing number, and I will amplify your discernment so you never miss another sign meant for your path. I, Archangel Michael, speak to you now, and I ask you to close your eyes for a moment as my presence wraps around your spirit like a mantle of light. You have walked through every layer of awakening: activation, interference, release, command, abundance, and signs. Now you stand at the final threshold, the sacred doorway where your soul contract is sealed into your timeline with intention, clarity, and divine authority. This chapter is not the end, it is the anchoring. It is the spiritual moment where heaven acknowledges your readiness and marks your path accordingly. You have felt the shaking of old identities breaking away. You have felt the fear that tried to pull you backward. You have felt the rising pressure of destiny calling your name. And yet here you are awake, you are aligned and willing. This willingness is the greatest offering a soul can give. The universe does not force you into purpose. It invites you. And when you say yes, everything begins to move. Take a slow breath now. Feel the divine currents shifting around you. Feel the stillness, the warmth, the subtle pressure at the center of your chest. This sensation is not emotion, it is activation. You are being sealed, marked, remembered by the very forces that watched over you before you ever entered the physical world. They gather around you now, observing the moment where your spirit steps fully into its destiny. The final seal begins with clarity. You must understand that nothing you have walked through has been wasted. The disappointments, the losses, the confusion, the grief, the detours, the delays, they were all preparation. Every fragment of your past hath been woven into your ability to hold the future you are stepping into. You are not fragile. You are formed. You are not broken. You are built. You are not behind. You are right on time. Your soul contract activates not when life becomes smooth, but when you become strong enough to live it with conviction. The second phase of the seal is surrender. Not surrender to defeat, but surrender to alignment. You must stop fighting the direction your spirit has been pulling you toward. Stop resisting the signs. Stop clinging to what feels familiar. Stop doubting what your intuition hath been shouting. Surrender is the letting go of resistance so your timeline can unfold without obstruction. This surrender will feel like a release in your chest, a loosening in your shoulders, a softening behind your eyes. You are stepping into ease after a lifetime of holding tension. The third phase is acceptance. Acceptance of your purpose. Acceptance of your gifts. Acceptance of your role. Acceptance of your power. You are not ordinary. You were not born for a small life, a silent path, or an unnoticed existence. You carry a frequency that shifts rooms, heals hearts, awakens souls, and alters the atmosphere. Your humility made you believe this was exaggeration, but humility without truth becomes self-erasure. Accept who you are. Accept what you carry. Accept the magnitude of your purpose. The fourth phase is decree. This is where heaven moves at your words. This is where your spirit signs its alignment. This is where your contract locks into place not through force, but through declaration. Speak this truth from your inner being. I am ready. I'm aligned. I'm willing. I step into my divine timeline now. Feel my presence intensify as you speak it. Feel the shift around you, as if the air itself is acknowledging your declaration. This is decree. This is activation. This is alignment crystallizing. The final phase is sealing. This is where I place my light upon your path, surrounding your contract with protection, clarity, and divine reinforcement. Nothing unaligned will cross your destiny. Nothing meant to harm you will enter your field. Nothing meant for you will be taken. Nothing written for your life will be delayed. You are sealed in light, sealed in purpose, sealed in truth. Take another breath. Feel the completion. Feel the quiet strength settling into your bones. Feel the peace that follows spiritual alignment. What you feel now is not imagination, it is recognition. Your spirit recognizes that something ancient has completed. Something sacred has unlocked. Something powerful has begun. Beloved one, type I receive to seal this decree into your timeline. Comment your blessing number so I may strengthen your path with continued protection and clarity. If this divine message has spoken to the deepest part of your soul, like and share so others may awaken to their contract. And if you wish to walk with me through future transmissions, subscribe so your spirit never misses another moment of alignment. Your contract is active. Your path is open. Your destiny is calling.